Hello, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to TMR Live. Of course, you probably didn't notice this before, the actual logo of TMR, for those of you who haven't actually checked it out very often. Thank you for actually being a part with us. We have a lot that we have to get to. Today was the final day of the NCCAA national tournaments, both in Springfield, Missouri and Circleville, Ohio. Now we have 7 games on the docket, and I just want to bring all of them straight to you, even though I am a very somber man right now, due to the simple fact of the outcome of the 5 o'clock games. But we'll worry about the 1 o'clock games, the 3 o'clock games, and the 7 o'clock game, as well as the 5 o'clock games. So let me take a swig. Dr. Pepper, the favorite drink of me, Mikey Edwards, and the Mikey Report. Okay. First off, we had, like I said, 7 games on the docket, and really it all boiled down to who was better, who was gonna bring it. So I'll tell you who brought it in each team, well, in each game. Now, granted, some of you might question my logic and reasoning, but that's typical with sports and normal debating with sports. So, first off, I am gonna say, I'm gonna break down men's action, because men's was a little bit more decisive than what I had earlier. Okay, the men had only 3 games, like I said, a 5th place, a 3rd place, and a 1st place. 5th place was between Ohio Christian and North Central. Both teams pretty much played pretty well, I'd say, but OCU ended up getting the better end of it, as they won 84-71 to garner 5th place. The 3rd place game was between Dallas Christian and Central Bible. Now, I have to say this: Central Bible ended up having today, had a pretty good day, I think, today, because first off, they had their segment on ESPN College Game Day today, and I did not know this until today. Apparently, the CBC men's team was playing handbells. Apparently, it helped them bring unity. Maybe our Valley Forge basketball, maybe some basketball teams that I know of should do something like that. But that unity helped CBC defeat Dallas 82-76. Not only did the unity there help, Caleb Willis had 31 points today, and Dallas ended up with only 6 players around, 4 players on the court at the end of the game because 2 fouled out. Their head coach, and Coach Williams, ended up getting 2 technicals, so he was sent to the locker room early. But like I said, CBC had unity. I can tell you this: Valley Forge didn't have unity. They were they lost to Grace Bible College again for the second time. Well, second time this season, third time in the last 3 years. Grace defeated them 76-56. Allen Durham had about 26 points unofficially. And Grace garnered their 4th national title out of 6 straight years, and it is their 3rd straight. So I think Valley Forge needs to work on their playing style, because I think some of it might be that. I know some of us were saying it's like some of us fans were saying, oh, it's too restricted and that. I mean, I understand Coach Mack's philosophy, but if the team is able to work in one way, they should be able to work in another. You understand where I'm coming from? Because once they get into a good rhythm, they'll be good. And the reason why I see more closer victories with Valley Forge than I do with these other teams is because of the free type of basketball. It's like, go out there and play instead of, I mean, have a game plan, but go out there and play. This is the national tournament. Go out there, play your hearts out like you would for anything else. I don't know. I'm 23 years old, going on 24. Just haven't been involved with basketball heavily until 7 years ago, when I started doing stats for the women's basketball team in high school. So, I mean, I may know a little bit, but I don't know. I just don't know. I'm very mellowed, very disappointed in the Valley Forge squad. They did not play. They're blessed, but they did not play the way they usually do. I'm sure fans here, I know, were not thrilled with the gameplay. People who aren't Valley Forge fans are thrilled. We're like the Red Sox, I guess. No, we're like the Yankees. You either love them or you hate them. So, but yeah, that there really wasn't too much exciting for the men, because, like I said, the 5th place game you don't really follow. 3rd place game, that became just, I think, almost like a clown fest at the end because of the the 2 foul outs situation. And the last game was just not pleasing whatsoever. So, congratulations to the Tigers, the Grace Bible College, for their 3rd straight national title. Hopefully other teams can come and take you down. I say that as a fan of other teams who haven't fulfilled their complete mission yet of gaining that banner, that national banner. The women's games were actually, I think, more exciting. Especially the 5th place game and the 1st place game were more exciting in the women's bracket. Of course, Trent McGee and Coach Drew Watson were calling the last two games, the third place and the first place game. Joe Carrion of Valley Forge and Coach Jamie Batten, I know, were calling the fifth place game. I don't know if they were calling the seventh place game. Jamie Batten of Cincinnati Christian. But let's break it down. Women's action, seventh place game, Clearwater defeating Hillsdale 77-55. That was good because Clearwater needed to make a statement after their losses earlier in the weekend, so that definitely was needed. Fifth place game, and that was close throughout. North Central, I think, had Grace's number though, and they did eventually, as they garnered fifth place 70-67. Third place game was between Ohio Christian and Valley Forge. Now, I was going over stats last night, I think during TMR, and it said that the point differential was 12.5 in favor of Ohio Christian. Well, I think I was pretty darn I think that number definitely was close with this, as Ohio Christian was up by 14 at the half and ended with a 15-point win. Ohio Christian ended up scoring 41 points and Valley Forge scoring 39 in the second half. So, I mean, Valley Forge still played pretty well in the second half, but it always ends up a little too late, as Valley Forge takes fourth and Ohio Christian takes third. But I have to say this about the women. They do have the resiliency, and I was saying they're only missing a piece or two. They needed a piece or two to make national tournament. They did it. I am happy. I'm so thrilled for the women's basketball program here. Reggie Chappell, head coach, it only took 2 years to get the women's basketball program to the national tournament. Most times it takes like forever. It takes longer than just 2 years, or most times it takes like years before you actually get a good solid program. And especially under a new coach. Reggie Chappell came in last season, had a lot of these freshmen, Amanda Compton, Amanda Reich, Morgan Godwin, and the list goes, Aaliyah Carr, and this year bringing in Chanel McKeither and Talea Woodall. She was here last year, but she couldn't actually. She was injured for the year, so she didn't want to waste her eligibility, which was smart because she came on this year, had the big, real good opportunity, and look at where they ended up. So I am happy for the Lady Patriots. So it was definitely a positive for Valley Forge to come out to this tournament and place where they did, even though it wasn't what we wanted. So I have to admit, Valley Forge gave a valiant effort. The first place game, the championship, was between Kentucky Christian and Maranatha Baptist Bible College. Wow. That game was the most epic game of the tournament, in my opinion. Well, actually, besides the Dallas Christian, Grace going into overtime. But this game tonight that just ended about a half hour ago was the biggest game, I think, of the tournament. Well, not only was it because of the championship, it was because of how hard fought, how close it was for both sides. Maranatha had a 1-point lead at half, 37-36. Maranatha had pretty much a good portion of control during tonight's game. When they got loose, they got choppy, and they started making bad plays. That's when Kentucky stole the momentum, and it was late too. It wasn't early. Kentucky ended up gaining the advantage in momentum, and then they just crept up. It was 63-63. Then 63-63. Then Maranatha scored their I think Maranatha went to the line. I think, yeah, or what? Wait a minute. Maranatha was down, actually, and they tied it up at 63. Timeout was called. Maranatha scored 65-63. Or was it Kentucky up? I don't remember. Either way, Maranatha had 65. Then KCU. Casey Denton pretty much dented the hopes of Maranatha at the end, as she hit the second three after it was 68-65, the final being 71-65. Kentucky Christian wins it. Well, actually, no, it was, she got 68. She got the three-pointer that made it 68. Then there was a 2, and then a trip to the line, 71-65. That's how it ended up. So, Kentucky Christian wins their 14th national title. 14th! Oh my word! They're creeping up to the greats like the Yankees. Yankees have 20, well, they have 27, which is the most in major sports. But we haven't counted college sports yet. I wonder who has the most championships of the college side of things. That'd be interesting. I'm not counting wins. I'm counting championships. And Kentucky Christian is also like Jimmy Johnson, as they win their 5th in a row. 5th national championship in a row for Kentucky Christian. 14th overall. I think KCU is going to stay at number 1 for quite some time. They're a young squad. Valley Forge is a young squad. They're going to be still getting better. So, I mean, there's a lot of expectations for these teams coming into next year. Coach Drew Watson will not be national chair, as I found out. Melanie Halstead, who was vice chair, head coach of Clearwater, she will be taking over as national chair. Found that out in the post game, as they were doing the awards and the all-tournament team. By the way, Sean Taylor, Justin Kinsey also for Valley Forge made all tournament team. So congrats to them. But of course, the hardware is not on the major hardware. We're talking about the banner is not in our possession. So both Valley Forge teams leaving, men second, the ladies fourth. I don't think I'm even having a call-in tonight even. I have not received anything about a call-in. No one's actually viewing me right now, which is, oh, great. So, I'm gonna recap the scores, and then I'm gonna close up saying good night, and I'll see you tomorrow for the NCAA selection show, bracketology, TMR style. That's right. I'll try to get Jimmy Armpriester to join up. Jim Armpriester and Dave Bone to join up with me as the NCAA selection show will be going on 6 p.m. on CBS, but we will be also trying to give you information as well. If you are not going to be watching CBS, if you are into the bracketology, right here on TMR Live. So finally, we want to finish off here. Women's bracket, 7th place game. Clearwater Christian defeats Hillsdale 77-55. 5th place game. North Central defeats Grace 70-67. 3rd place game. Ohio Christian defeats Valley Forge 77-61. And Kentucky Christian beats Maranatha Baptist Bible 71-65 for their 5th championship in a row, 14th championship overall. In, I believe, Coach Arnett's career. In the men's half, 5th place game, Ohio Christian defeats North Central 84-71. 3rd place game, Central Bible defeats Dallas 82-76. Caleb Willis with 31 points of the 82. Dallas Christian ended up with only 4 players on the court at the end of that game. And their head coach got teed out, and 2 of their other players also fouled out. That's why you need a bigger bench. So that way you don't have just 4. And the championship game in the men's bracket, Grace defeats Valley Forge in the rematch of 2 years ago, but this was nowhere close to 2 years ago, as the play was just, I don't know, horrific. As the final score was 76-56, Allen Durham having, I think, around 26 points, and Grace having their 3rd straight national title, 4th out of the last 6 years. Once again, I want to thank CCSN and their crew, Valley Forge and Central Bible, for their media efforts. I also want to thank all the fans that support Trent and Cole McGee, Justin Glenn, Serginio Sandy, the guys who actually do watch me. I was shocked when I heard that CCSN was watching. I'm like, oh yay, goody. But other than that, I just want to say thank everywhere else that supports Cafe Press, Webs.com, check out our site, our store, cafepress.com, the Mikey Report shop, also the website MikeyReport.webs.com, YouTube channel youtube.com/user/medwardsshow. Our next Mikey Report Live will be actually tomorrow. With the NCAA selection show. I'm gonna try to get my good buddies Jimmy Armpriester, Dave Bowen, and maybe I could get my roommate Devon to actually join in analysis of some college b-ball. See if he thinks the bracketologists get it right. And then after that day, I don't think I have another one until March 18th, which is the end of this coming week, where I will have Jonathan Kiwi Norris, and Kiwi's his nickname, and Casey Vandentop. She was on the show last time, and she's going to be on the show she was on the show before, and now she's going to come on for both of them are going to be on to talk about their trip to Greece, as long as they aren't too jet lagged to actually be on the show. So that is everything from here for TMR Live. As I will close up here, once again thanking CCSN and the media crews for all their work, all their diligence, and I just want to go into next year saying hopefully I'll be out at the tournament actually doing Mikey Report out there. So you never know. Never know what will transpire in a year. But good night. God bless. I'll see you next time right here on TMR Live.